Hello everyone. John, my question, first of all, is Max there as well, or?
Maybe he is together with Lisette. I'm not sure if they're in the same room.
Yes, Lisette is on the call, right?
Yes, I am here, Gordana.
Okay, perfect, Max.
Present.
Perfect. Hello, hi.
Hi.
So therefore, just to keep the time in mind, what I would like to do is to start with our first webinar. So warm welcome to the first webinar of ECPA. I'm very glad that today Fullfact will be presenting on their subject, on their topic. What I'm going to do is that I will record this webinar so that we are able to share it with the community, with the other members who are not able to join today. The webinar will last for around 30 minutes. John, that's right?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay, 30 minutes. And so you will all have the chance to ask your questions after the presentation for around 10 minutes. And so therefore, I would like to hand over to John.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar. Thank you for your time and for inviting us to do so. My name is John Tubbing, and I'll be your guide through this PowerPoint. As Gordana said, it probably takes around 30 minutes, and afterwards there's time for you to ask some questions if you like. You are also able, if I'm not mistaken, to forward or to look back into the presentation through Teams, but
yes,
please bear with me. These are just pictures to support my story. Well, the webinar, how can I achieve and manage more growth within my company? Let me first introduce our company to you so that you know to whom you're talking with. Fullfact is already almost 20 years busy working in the continuous improvement area. We have started this since 1995, and in the time that we are already around, we gained about 350 different customers and sites who has got over 5,000 production lines worldwide. We do not do that ourselves only. We have international partners who are helping with that. And what we do with these companies and customers of ours, we empower their manufacturing teams with the ultimate loss detection and visualization software. We create software to help you improve your productivity. And our mission is to support manufacturing and also other related companies to maximize added value at zero losses. That is our mission for the company. If you look at our customers, they have a global presence and they are in different verticals. We of course are very proud of these names, but for us this is very valuable as we gain a lot of knowledge in different kinds of verticals, which we then can use to service and support our other customers even better with the knowledge we gain from these companies. If I look a little bit closer to your vertical or the area where you are working, a lot of food and beverage customers we have are in this slide, and maybe there are some customers of you are also there. But these customers, obviously, they all have to pack their goods and send them to the retail or to the end users. What these companies also have in common are the challenges they are facing, and not only these customers, but all our customers. And some of them I hope you would recognize, like how do I manage growth, but still I stay price competitive. Also a very high demand of the market is to be flexible with high volumes and a high mix, but also maybe to make smaller volumes, but still in a high mix. I also want to keep my employees motivated and on board. If you want to manage your growth by having them working every evening or in the weekends, they probably are going to look for another job. Also the millennials who are now entering all the companies to come and work, they're quite different people than people who are working already 25 years within your company. So keep your employees motivated is something that is also very important nowadays. And very actual about sustainability. We have a lot of discussions in the Netherlands also about our environment, the farmers, agriculture, vertical, but also construction. It's tomorrow in The Hague, talking and demonstrating about this. It's a very hot topic, which we also address with the company challenges. And yeah, we're talking about automation, industry 4.0 buzzword. We hear a lot. What as a company do I have to do? How can I deal with this kind of challenges? Do I need to put in more money, more investments, more technology, more complexity perhaps? Do I follow all the hypes we are hearing about and talking about? Well, if we look at the experience we now have with our customers, our advice is, please, those are still very valid things to do, but first get a grip on your production. Meaning that please take a good look at the process on your shop floor within your production sites. And one of the things that are very important are your machines. Look at your machines first, because the majority of machines, we know from experience, are not that reliable, tend to have long changeover times, but also very positive. They do show a use capacity potential. And that is what we have seen and measured with our customers. That's how we know this, because they use the OAE toolkit together with the knowledge we provide them to see how is their overall equipment effectiveness doing. And that is also what OAE stands for. You measure your production lines, you measure your machines, and you will see whether they are effective or not. Well, how does that work? Just a little theory about how OAE works. Here you see the total at the top, the available production time. Well, that is normally speaking 24 hours, 7 days a week. We do see that in the process industry, but companies like yourselves, they do have several shifts and maybe work in the weekends, but are not 24/7 around the clock available. So for OAE, we take the plant's production time. So the non-production time we take out of this measurement, and what we then have left is the gross operating time. And that is already one of the factors we are looking at for the overall equipment effectiveness. That's availability of your machines. Well, from that gross operating time, you will see that the machines are not always working and that there are availability losses. Now, if you take them out, then you will, what is left is your net operating time. And within that net operating time, you will see that your machines will not always run at the speed they are supposed to do. You can compare it to your own car. If you have a car who can drive 200 kilometers per hour and you go out, you probably will not be able to do so every time you go and drive in that car. So your speed losses are also a part from the factor within OAE, being the performance factor. And if you take out the speed losses, you will have your valuable operating time left. And within that operating time, we do see that it is not always possible to produce goods without waste. You will have waste quality losses, and that is the third factor, which is part of the OAE, and that's the quality. So here on this, on the end, you will see here how the OEE percentage is being calculated using these 3 factors, which are the only 3 you need to get a good overview about the effectiveness of your machine. Because if you look at your machines, this is the part what you see. This is your machine. So what you see is that the machine is there, machine is running, the machine has its ups and downs, and it can be good or bad, but this is the part you normally will see. This is also what you can measure yourself quite easily. This is also what we can measure quite easily, but that is not the way OEE looks at your things, not the way Fullfact is looking at it. What we are looking for is the part what you do not see. And what we tend to call this the part you cannot see, the invisible machine. And that is where we try to look for within your company, within your production site, where can we find more potential from these machines. Well, how do we find this potential? First of all, then we connect to your machines. Our software is connected to your machines. And we visualize and we go and look for your losses, and we analyze and visualize them to see whether is room for improvement, where can we do that. If you already know how to solve those, you can start already eliminating these losses. Reason why we're doing this is because we want to see if there is more, can we get more out of your existing production side, your machines and your existing assets like your staff and personnel, your FTEs. That is where OEE is all about, creating more production out of your existing assets. If we do so, we always talk together with our customers about standardization. Can we measure the things the same way? Do we speak the right language so that as everybody understands from shop floor to management, that there is we use the same definitions, for example. And again, the environment, already addressed a little bit, is an important factor, but within OEE, it's also very important to have a good look at your waste. What is the waste you are producing? That of course costs you money, but it is also a part of your carbon footprint, as they call it, to see whether you're producing green or not. And at the end, it's very important that we get everybody involved in this process and this way of thinking, so that this will be a success within your company. As everybody is on board from shop floor to management, then you will see and you are going to make improvements by getting more potential out of your machines. Well, if we look at these machines and we want to connect to those, there are several ways to do so. The most easy way is to not connect to your machines and do it manually. So you can, with our software, it is also possible to enter the data collected from the production line manually into our system. The part you see here at the top, number 1, there you can enter easily the date, the machines, shift team, number of operators, etc. The second part, number 2, there you enter what you have produced and what your waste was. And 3, very important, the reasons for stopping and the reasons why the machine didn't run. So this is very easy to do so. You can put a laptop or a PC nearby your machines, and the operator or someone else will enter the data manually into the system, and you will get all the OEE reports you require. There is also a disadvantage. The advantage is it's very easy. Yeah? You don't need a connection to your network, to your IT environment. You don't have to connect to your machines. And it's very quick and dirty. Within 24 hours, you are up and running, and you can see where you can make improvements and where you cannot. The downside is a little bit, of course, it is not that accurate, and it is it's manual input. So people who want to cheat, they can. It's possible to fill in data which is not completely correct. Therefore, we more often see that we are connected to your machines via sensors or via PLC. We have an I/O module, as we call it, which we use to connect the software to your production lines, and we automatically can then see whether there's output, what is the number of waste when the machine is not running, stopping, and also what is the actual speed of the machine. If you are a bigger company, or we see that with bigger customers, we also now see that it is being done through central servers, being OPC, Open Platform Communications servers, which are larger IT architecture service where we can also connect to. So we can directly connect to your line, or we can connect to a server who are centralized and gathering all the data. If we look at the software itself, the operator will be very important in this for the data collection, and we make the screens for the operator very easy to handle. This is the first screen they will normally see when a shift is starting up. Here on the top you see that there is a machine allocated here. If I want, I can add 8 more machines in one screen, so I can, as an operator, can control 9 machines from one PC or laptop if I want. If there is something going on within with this machine, the operator simply pushes on this gray area here, and it opens the specific screen for this machine, and it will tell you what to do, and it will give you the opportunity when, for example, the machine has stopped, to enter a reason why this machine is stopping and not producing. Well, in this case, for this example, he or she will push on the failure button. You also notice, hopefully, these are quite big tiles, and they are specifically mentioned or meant to use with a touch screen. But it's also possible to do this with a mouse and keyboard, of course. So when the machine has stopped and, for example, there's a failure, the operator will push the red button here. It opens a screen, and here he or she can fill in the reason why the machine has stopped. This is basically everything we ask from the operator to do. So this is quite easy, it's not complicated. They will learn this within 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes perhaps, to see how this works. And what the operator also can see is a actual view of how this machine, how this line is producing. Here you see the 3 factors of OEE visualized in colors and in graphs. And here you will see whether he's performing well or not. He also sees here, for example, the speed which the machine is running. This is the speed, 870 bottles. You see on the right hand is what he should be doing. You see on the top how many products have been produced, the time it has been doing, all the information which is relevant for the operator to see in the screens. And these are the things that the operator only needs to do and needs to see, and this will help him to register all the data from this shift. Should you be a team leader or a plant manager, production manager, and you want to observe or see what is going on your shop floor, but you're not there, you can see via a web dashboard, via screens or a PC or your laptop or even a mobile device, what is the actual status of the lines within your shop floor. It's also possible, what we see quite often, is that these large screens also hang. If you look at the right downside, you will see a little picture of a factory hall where these screens are also available, so that in one glance you can see how the line is producing and how far they are with production time, for example. But this is real-time information coming from the line in order to have a good view of what is going on currently within your shop floor. Well, all this data is, of course, collected to create reports and to do analysis. And that is the second part of our software. This is a reporting tool. And here at the top, you will see all kind of buttons in the right colors, which provide you with reports and analysis about your OEE. There are about 40 reports available, so you should be good. I will not go to every report, of course. I'll take a few just to give you some information of how that looks like. One of the most used ones is the shift report. Like the word already explains, it's a report from the shift and the shift that just ended. And this report is automatically created after a shift and can be, for example, emailed automatically to everybody who wants to see this. But this is normally used to print out, hang on a whiteboard, and discuss this with another shift or team which is going to start or is going to start the next day. You can also do this, of course, digitally, put it on a screen, or again, send it to everybody who is involved. But this shift report gives you exactly every information you need to see what was happening on the shift before. And talk about this with maintenance, for example, or team leaders or whatever who is involved. This is a report example. What we also have, of course, within this report generator are the analysis you can make. And one of the most used ones is the Pareto analysis. Here you will see this example shows you every reason for stopping, and it shows you which was the biggest one. And that is the Pareto, of course, it's on the left side in the beginning. And this will tell you the stopping in minutes or in percentage, or also, if needed, in frequency. So you can see how many times did an activity stopping happened. This is an example from Terumo in Belgium. Terumo in Belgium, they are a company, they create needles for injection, infusion, or diabetic purposes. They produce billions a year. They start using our software about, I think it was October, November last year. They started it and they started collecting data, and they quite soon found out that, for example, they saw there was a structural shortage of operators during shifts, meaning that machines were not being manned. So there was nobody there to man the machine, so the machine was not running. They also had a challenge with changeovers. In this case, there were a lot of standstills because an operator does not can always do a changeover himself. They need the right technical staff to be present to do so. So they made sure that planning and technical servers made trained staff available when there was a changeover taking place. You can imagine that cleaning is very important also within this company, and well, they took a look at that and they did an optimizing program and reduced it from 16 hours a week to 7 to 8 hours a week. And they, in general, took a look at the top 10 common failures every week, and they had a procedure in place together with maintenance and with continuous improvement people to have an approach to solve these problems. The result was quite good. When they started to do this kind of improvements, they improved their productivity by 25%. Another example is availability, what is also a factor within the OEE. Motip Dupli is a customer of ours here in the Netherlands. They produce paint and all kind of cleaning material for mostly the automotive industry. And they found out by using the OEE toolkit that some machines were not performing and it was too costly to try and repair them. So they choose to replace them. This for them was the data they needed to make a decision: do we continue with this machine or are we going to replace them for a new one? They also saw that for the changeovers, that it was quite difficult for the operators to have the technical staff available, and also when there were technical failures. So they also started to train operators to become also technical, so they can do all the things themselves. And this led to significantly reducement of changeover times, and the result is what they gained on the productivity was huge. And also this was related to last year. I was there last week, and they told me that they now already are producing 3 million more cans than they did in 2018. So their productivity is going up and up, and that was because of the inside information they got from the OEE toolkit. Well, changeovers, we already addressed them a little bit. It is also one of the things you are encountering within your production. This company, they had also a challenge around changeovers, basically the time. For them, the challenge was to get more smaller orders in the same production time. And the reason they couldn't do that was because they had to make changeovers to create smaller batches for production. And they managed to reduce this from approximately 28 minutes to 8 minutes per changeover. And that gave them the room and for improvement, and also to accept smaller batches and produce them in quite a fast way. Well, what we see is that, of course, the companies, they look at OEE, and they look specifically for certain things which are for specific machines. But at the end, you also want to look at your overall equipment effectiveness, and look at the OEE number itself. Well, this company took a little bit longer. The examples you saw before, they were quite fast in getting improvements done. But sometimes, yeah, it depends on the company. This is quite a big company. It takes sometimes longer, but that's okay. It's not that you have to be very more productive in 3 or 4 months. It can take some time. First of all, if you get your OEE steady, that's already a challenge, and that's already very good if you can do that. But this company, yeah, they are really growing, and they are looking at their complete OEE, and we're very happy to see that it is growing with 260%. The same company also took a look at their utilization. As I said, OEE does not take in consideration the time that you planned out your machines. That is not something OEE calculates with, but it does look at your complete production site and see whether there's room for improvement in utilization. So in this case, you see that this machine, for 50% of the time, it's not being planned, and that will help you if you are considering buying new machines. In this case, it's maybe wise to have a look at this machine and try to make this machine more profitable and more productive by using it more. So this is also something that the OEE toolkit will show you, this kind of information. Should I do more investments in machines, or can I do the same with the machines I already have for myself? So if I go back to the question we had at the beginning, how can I achieve and manage more growth in my company? Well, if you ask us this question, first go with your team and try and find this hidden machine. The people who are doing that, they will visualize and present the losses on a daily basis or a weekly basis, whatever you like. Then management can actively steer and support improvements in area, technical or continuous improvement. Do we want to have lean or other TPM kind of programs you want to run? The teams who are doing that, they actually respond to that, and they really proactively do something with that information and go to the shop floor and make the improvements. because this information, the facts you are given by the OA toolkit will give you the right direction for a continuous improvement program. CI stands for continuous improvement, and that is what the OA toolkit will provide you with, the data which will enable you to start up and to make this kind of programs possible and available. At the end of the day, it will be something which everybody needs to be involved. It's not something that only management would like, or maintenance, or the shop floor would like. No, it's a team effort, and I think everybody knows where team stands for. Together, everybody achieves more, and that is also a very important part of OE. Okay, benefits. We have seen that. What are the costs? Well, I cannot specifically for everybody here tell you what the costs are. What I can tell you, it does not need any more investment in equipment. Not yet. Maybe it will in the beginning, but or at the end, not in the beginning. You do not need extra workforce unless there are machines unmanned, and yeah, that's why there's a reason for stopping, but that's something else. We don't need more square meters to set up new machines and buy buildings to do so, and you do not need to add extra complexity. On the contrary, we are making life more easy to get this information above the water and see whether there is room for improvement or not. It's quite an easy tool to really hands-on see where there is the room for improvement. So how can we help you as Fullfact with our 25 years of experience? We can deliver you and will deliver you with world-class OE software to do so. And of course, we have to look at your situation and try to translate the things we can do for you in the best way. At the end of the day, we will ensure growth by enabling your continuous improvement, because we tend to see with our customers that over 20% is very good possible. And if you look at our website, you will also see more customer cases to see how other companies like Refresco or NC or Niacet has realized this with the OA tool. Well, this is the information I would wanted to share with you. Of course, there's room for questions if you have. If you want to prefer to do that more one-on-one, you can always contact us, of course, yourself. But maybe, yeah, the line is open for me. If there are any questions or comments, then please share.
Yeah, thank you very much, John, for the presentation and the good examples. So yes, now it's time for you to let me just. I can hear me. I don't know why now. I can just a second.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now it's the time for all the participants. If you have any questions, John will be happy to answer them. I know, Liam, you can understand us, but you don't have a microphone. So if you have any questions, Liam, feel free to post them in the chat. And for the other ones, you can just unmute yourself and yeah, go ahead.
I already see a question from Peter Newkirk.
Yeah.
John, what is your experience of this OE software with co-packers? Well, we are working with several at the moment. One of them is Kremlin Clean. They are already testing our software. But the customers, you see the slide with all the food and beverage customers, they all, or they work, I don't know which one is working with co-packers or not, but they all need to pack the goods, of course, to ship to the customers and to the retail business. So that part of what co-packers are doing for their customers is something we are very experienced with, because that is something we see with all our customers. They all need to pack, of course, their goods and send them. So that is with the packing itself, we have a lot of experience. Does that answer your question, Peter?
Yes, it does. Thanks, John.
Okay. I was not sure you had audio, but okay, I saw it in the chat. Yeah.
Super. Thank you. Yes. Anything else to ask or to comment?
Well, it's good to hear that it was quite clear, or everybody left. That's also possible as well.
No. Everybody. Or thinking. It's now the time to think as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm not sure if they are able to switch between slides if they want something specific about a slide. They want to know. But again, you're always free to do that afterwards if you want to get more specific information about your own situation. That is maybe not something you want to do in this group. I can imagine. So it's always possible to do that, of course, one-on-one.
Yes, this is Peter from Domino. We will organize a separate meeting with Fullfact to see what cooperation possibilities we have. So, but the rest, the presentation was clear to us, to Gerard and me. So,
okay,
thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you. Great.
Super. Thank you, Peter, for the feedback. So yes. So what we are going to do, if there are currently no other questions, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are recording this webinar. So what I'm going to do, I will share that with you. So you will receive a link. All of our members will receive a link, so that you're also, you can feel free to share it with your colleagues. So, in that case, if there are any other questions, as John already said, you have his contact details. Then they are mentioned in the presentation. Feel free to contact Fullfact, to contact John for any questions. And thank you very much all for joining. And if there's anything now, say it. Otherwise, I think, John, I can say thank you again, and goodbye.
Yes, thank you very much for attending, and hope we'll meet in person soon.
Super. Yes,
thank you very
absolutely.
much. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.